Durand, who is also a retired teacher from the Dominica Grammar School. Let's make them feel welcome. All right. And we are going to just go over, we sent you the rules, so you are all familiar with the rules. But we just want to reiterate the most basic of them. You come to the mic, a word is dipped, the pronouncer is going to pronounce the word for you. If you want its use in a sentence, if you want the definition, you are free to ask for it. Then you say the word first, you spell the word, and then you repeat the word. So my word is cat. So I simply say cat. C-A-T. Cat. All right? If for any reason, especially to the audience, you are dissatisfied or you felt that your child spelled the word correctly and there is some discrepancy for what is going on, we do not want any outbursts. The judges are available, or you simply put up your hand. Mr. Alexander is going to come to you and we will address your concern immediately. All right, teachers? All right, teachers? Let us be mindful that the words are British. No American spelling is going to be accepted. The words were sent out to you as early as September, so you had enough time to prepare and familiarize yourself with the British spelling. Are we clear? Are we clear? Is there anything that you want to ask before we begin? Ready to go? Okay.
Okay, our first school, Convent, Sienna Andrew. One thing that Mrs. Cornelius forgot to mention is that if you begin spelling the word and you think you've made an error, if you are going to start over, you must repeat the same letters that you started with. So there is no correcting yourself. So think before you start spelling, okay? Miss Andrew, your word is genealogy. Genealogy.
Genealogy. Genealogy. Genealogy.
That is correct. Miss Mia Joseph, your word, excruciating. Excruciating.
Excruciating. EXCRUCIATING. Excruciating.
That is correct. Mana Williams, is that correct? You could just switch, right. Mana, your word is acoustics. Acoustics.
Acoustics. ACOUSTICS. Acoustics.
That is correct. Bring your box closer. Celine Jeffrey, your word is anthropology. Anthropology.
Anthropology. ANTHROPOLOGY. Anthropology.
That is correct. Isaiah Thomas, Shania Kazimi, your word is broccoli. Broccoli.
Broccoli. BROCCLI. Broccoli.
That is incorrect. BROCCOLI. Jadia Prosper. Your word is mischievous. Mischievous.
Mischievous. MISCHIEVOUS. Mischievous.
That is correct. Please adjust the mic if necessary, okay? Orion. Liam. Liam Nesty. So Ren, could you switch please? Right. Your word is analog. Analog.
Analog. ANALOGUE. Analog.
That is correct. Please remember, say the word, spell the word, say the word. Ren? Your word is gymnasium. Gymnasium. Go closer to the mic, please.
Gymnasium. GYMNASIUM.
Could you?
Gymnasium.
All right, that is correct. Could you please speak into the mic? All right, the judges need to hear because they have to alert me if something is amiss. Coyote, is that correct? Okay. Your word is electromagnetism. Electromagnetism.
Electromagnetism. ELECTROMagnetism. Electromagnetism.
That is correct. Trinity. Your word is computerized. Computerized.
Computerized. COMPUTERIZED. Computerized.
That is correct. Jonathan. Your word is snobbery. Snobbery.
Snobbery. SNOBBERY. Snobbery.
That is correct. Kajani. Your word is galleria. Galleria.
Galleria. GALLERIA. Galleria.
That is correct. Wesley High School, Nasir Roberts. Your word is authenticate.
Good morning to everyone. Welcome to live coverage of the 2025 Dominic Association of Teachers Spelling Bee Finals, sponsored by Macmillan Education Caribbean. We had a short ceremony earlier on this morning at about 9:30 until 5 minutes to 10 with various speeches. But the Spelling Bee has just begun, so we want to welcome everyone listening and watching at this time. We apologize for the delayed start of the broadcast here at the PSU building, attended by secondary school students from across the island. Pleasant listening, pleasant viewing, everyone.
Your word is illegibility. Illegibility.
Illegibility.
Yes, adjust. We should have some.
Illegibility. ILLEGIBILITY. Illegibility.
That is correct. Mia. Your word is immunodeficiency. Immunodeficiency.
Immunodeficiency. IMMUNODEFICIENCY. Immunodeficiency.
That is correct. Mana. Your word is carburetor. Carburetor.
Carburetor. C-A-R-B-U-R-E-A-T-O-R. Carburetor.
That is incorrect. Carburetor. Celine? Hallucinogen. Hallucinogen.
Hallucinogen. HAULLINOCINOGEN. Hallucinogen.
That is incorrect. HALLUCINOGEN. Shania? Your word is kaleidoscope. Kaleidoscope.
Kaleidoscope. KALEIDOSCOPE. Kaleidoscope.
That is correct. Jadia? Your word is judicious. Judicious.
Judicious. JUDICIOUS. Judicious.
That is correct. Liam? Your word is anecdote.
Anecdote.
Yes,
ANECDOTE. Anecdote.
that is correct. Ren? Marginalize. Marginalize. Marginalize.
Marginalize. MARGINALISE. Marginalize.
That is correct. Ren, after you have said the word, after you have spelled, remember to say the word in the mic, okay? Coyote? Your word is suburban. Suburban. Suburban.
Suburban. SUBURBAN. Suburban.
That is correct. Trinity? Your word is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm.
Cytoplasm. CYTOPLASM. Cytoplasm.
That is correct. Jonathan? Your word is nuisance. Nuisance.
Nuisance. NUISANCE. Nuisance.
That is correct. Kajani? Nostalgia. Nostalgia.
Nostalgia. NOSTALGIA. Nostalgia.
That is correct. Wesley, Nasir Roberts? Abscess. Abscess.
Abscess. ABSCESS. Abscess.
That is correct. Victoria? Your word is acclimatize. Acclimatize.
Acclimatize. ACCLIMATIZE. Acclimatize.
That is correct. Sienna? This is wrong number 3. She wants to see you. It's not on the list. It was spelled wrongly. It was spelled incorrectly. You were there? You were there? And that was which school? So what is it missing there? They're going to get another word? That was Ren. Ren, for Orion, we need you to come back. We're going to give you another word before we can continue because apparently there was an issue with your spelling of gymnasium. Yes, speak into the mic. Yep. Your word is fluorescent. Fluorescent. Use the mic.
Fluorescent. FLUO.
Speak into the mic.
ROSCENT. Fluorescent.
Okay, that is incorrect. She said RO. Yes, so that's incorrect. Okay. So do we move on now? Okay, so we are moving on. Okay, when you are spelling, we would prefer if you look at the judges. Look at the judges, okay? They are over there. Okay, let's go, Sienna. Your word is racism. Racism.
Racism. RACISM. Racism.
Thank you, that is correct. Mia, your word is precocious. Precocious.
Precocious. PRECOCIOUS. Precocious.
That is correct. Mana, your word is sophisticated. Sophisticated.
Sophisticated. SUPHICATED. Sophisticated.
That is incorrect. SOPHISTICATED. Sophisticated. Celine, your word is sacrilegious. Sacrilegious.
Sacrilegious. SACRILEGIOUS. Sacrilegious.
That is correct. Shania, your word is cavalcade. 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 Cavalcade.
Say it again, please.
Cavalcade.
Cavalcade. CAVALCADE. Cavalcade.
That is correct. Jadia, your word is centenarian. Centenarian.
Centenarian. CENTENARIAN. Centenarian.
That is correct. Orion, Liam, your word is turbulence. Turbulence.
Turbulence. TURBULENCE. Turbulence.
That is correct. Ren, your word is tardiness. Tardiness.
Tardiness. TARDINESS. Tardiness.
That is correct. Coyote, repugnant. Repugnant. Repugnant.
Repugnant. REPUGNANT. Repugnant.
That is correct. Trinity, your word is cadence. Cadence.
Cadence.
Cadence.
Cadence. KADENCE. Cadence.
That is incorrect. CADENCE. Is it cadence? Judges? Judges? The pronunciation was that right? Okay. Jonathan? Your word is sluggishness. Sluggishness.
Sluggishness. SLUGGISHNESS. Sluggishness.
That is correct. Kajani? Discrepancy. Discrepancy.
Discrepancy. DISCREPANCY. Discrepancy.
That is correct. Nasia? Your word is disbursement. Disbursement.
Disbursement. DISBURSEMENT. Disbursement.
That is correct. Victoria? Your word is tantamount. Tantamount. Tantamount.
Tantamount.
Tantamount. Say the word. Tantamount.
Tantamount. TANTAMOUNT. Tantamount.
That is correct. Back to convent, Sienna. Your word is ecclesiastical. Ecclesiastical.
Ecclesiastical. ECCLESIASTICAL. Ecclesiastical.
That is correct. Mia? Your word is aberration. Aberration.
Aberration. ABERRATION. Aberration.
That is correct. Mana? Your word is matter. Matter.
Matter. MARTYR. Matter.
That is correct. Celine? Your word is karaoke. Karaoke.
Karaoke. KAREOKE. Karaoke.
That is incorrect. KARAOKE. Karaoke. Shania? Your word is dilemma. Dilemma.
Dilemma. DILEMMA. Dilemma.
That is correct. Jadia? Your word is reminiscence. Reminiscence.
Reminiscence. REMINISCE.
Speak into the mic, please.
Reminiscence. REMINISCENCE. Reminiscence.
Okay, that is incorrect. REMINISCENCE. Reminiscence. Liam? Your word is champagne. Champagne. Your word is campaign.
Oh.
Campaign.
Campaign. CAMPAIGN. Campaign.
That is correct. Ren? Your word is chandelier. Chandelier. Closer to the mic, please. Chandelier.
CHANDELIER. Chandelier.
That is correct. Coyote? Melancholy. Melancholy. Melancholy.
Melancholy. MANCHOLY, melancholy.
That is correct. Trinity. Unpredictable. Unpredictable.
Unpredictable. UNPREDICTABLE. Unpredictable.
That is correct. Jonathan. Your word is acquiescent. Acquiescent.
Acquiescent. ACQUIESCENT. Acquiescent.
That is correct. Kajani. Belligerent. Belligerent.
Belligerent. BELLIGERENT. Belligerent.
That is correct. Nasia. Deficiency. Deficiency.
Deficiency. DEFICIENCY. Deficiency.
That is correct. Victoria. Tarpaulin. 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 Tarpaulin.
T-A, tarpaulin. T-A-P-O-U-L-I-N-E, tarpaulin.
That is incorrect. Tarpaulin. Tarpaulin. Ready? Judges, ready? Okay, Sienna. Okay, you are reminded that you should take your time and please speak up. And ladies, we need to remind you that you are sitting up on stage, so we need you to sit discreetly, please. Thank you. Keep your knees together. Thank you. Sienna, your word is thiamine. Thiamine.
Thiamine. T-H-A A-M-I-N-E.
Say the word.
Thiamine.
That is incorrect. Thiamine. Mia, your word is irretrievable. Irretrievable.
Irretrievable. IRRETRIEVABLE. Irretrievable.
That is correct. Mana. Mellifluous. Mellifluous.
Mellifluous. MELLIFLUOUS. Mellifluous.
That is correct. Celine. Geothermal. Geothermal.
Geothermal. GEOTHERMAL. Geothermal.
That is correct. Shania. Camouflage. Camouflage.
Camouflage. CAMOUFLAGE. Camouflage.
That is correct. Jediah. Trichology. Trichology. Or is it?
Trichology. TRECOLOGY. Trichology.
All right, that's incorrect. TRICHOLOGY. Liam. Medieval. Medieval.
Medieval. MEDIEVAL. Medieval.
That is correct. Ren? Vulgarism. Vulgarism.
Vulgarism. VULGARISM. Vulgarism.
That is correct. Mr. Samuel? Recurrent. Recurrent.
Recurrent. RECURRENT. Recurrent.
That is correct. Trinity? Nauseous. Nauseous.
Nauseous. NAUSSEOUS. Nauseous.
That is incorrect. NAUSEOUS. Jonathan? Dingy. Dingy.
Dingy. DINGY. Dingy.
Thank you, that's correct. Kajani? The word is fuselage. Fuselage.
Fuselage. FUSELAGE. Fuselage.
That is correct. Nasir? Commensurate. Commensurate.
Commensurate. COMMENSURATE. Commensurate.
That is correct. Victoria? Restaurantier. Restaurantier.
Restaurantier. RESTAUTEUR. Restaurantier.
She spelled it correctly, right? I pronounced it incorrectly. Because, right. That's the primary list. I said the wrong word. Okay. Restaurateur. Restaurateur.
Come again, please.
Sorry?
Come again.
Restaurateur. The primary school has restaurant. A person who owns or manages a restaurant. As an experienced restaurateur, she knew exactly how to create an inviting dining atmosphere. Restaurateur.
Restaurateur. RESTAUTEUR.
That is incorrect. RESTAURATEUR. Okay. We ready? Are we ready? Okay. Sienna? Pessimistic. Pessimistic.
Pessimistic. PESSIMISTIC. Pessimistic.
That is correct. Mia? Trauma. Trauma.
Trauma. TRAUMA. Trauma.
That is correct. Manner. Reciprocal. Reciprocal.
Reciprocal. RECIPROCAL. Reciprocal.
That is correct. Celine. Paralysis. Paralysis.
Paralysis. PARALYS. Paralysis. But Paralysis. Paralysis. Paralysis.
Correct. Shania, your word is braggart. Braggart.
Braggart. Braggart. Braggart.
That is correct. Trachometer. Tachometer.
Tachometer. Tachometer. Tachometer.
That is correct. Liam. Diaphragm. Diaphragm.
Okay. Diaphragm. DIAPHRAGM. Diaphragm.
That is correct. Ren? Dyslexia. Dyslexia.
Dyslexia. DYSLEXIA. Dyslexia.
That is correct. Coyote? Matriarchy. Matriarchy.
Matriarchy. MATRARCHY. Matriarchy.
And that is incorrect. MATRIARCHY. Trinity? Dialysis. Dialysis.
Dialysis. DIALYSIS. Dialysis.
That is correct. Jonathan? Tonsillectomy. Tonsillectomy.
Tonsillectomy. TONSILLECTOMY. Tonsillectomy.
That is correct. Kajani? Despicable. Despicable.
Despicable. DESPIABLE. Despicable.
That is correct. Nasia? With the same word? What do you add again? Despicable? Kajani. Could you say it again?
Despicable. DESPICABLE. Despicable.
Nasia? Blasphemy. Blasphemy.
Blasphemy. BLASPHEMY. Blasphemy.
That is correct. Victoria? Resuscitate. 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 Resuscitate.
Resuscitate. RESUSCITATE. Resuscitate.
That is correct. Go slower. Yes. Okay. Could we go ahead now, Mr. Alexander? Go on. Okay. Sienna? When I call the word, say the word and take a pause. Wait for the judges to give you a nod because they have to page through their list for them to find the word first. Okay? Your word is palpitation. Palpitation.
Palpitation. Palpitation.
That is correct. Let's go, Mia. Intravenous. Intravenous.
Intravenous. INTRAVENOUS. Intravenous.
That is correct. Mana. Amphibian.
Amphibian.
Hold up. Go ahead.
Amphibian. AMPHIBIAN. Amphibian.
That is correct. Celine. Gourmet. Gourmet.
Gourmet. Gourmet. GORMET. Gourmet.
That is incorrect. GOURMET. Gourmet. Shania. Xylophone. Xylophone.
Xylophone. Xylophone. XYLOPHONE. Xylophone.
That is correct. Jadia. Exacerbate. Exacerbate.
Exacerbate. Exacerbate. EXASS. ERBAT. Exacerbate.
That is incorrect. EXACERBATE. Exacerbate. Liam. Dialogue. Dialogue.
Dialogue. DIALOGUE. Dialogue.
That is correct. Ren. Intermittent. Intermittent. Say the word, please.
Intermittent. INTERMITTENT. Intermittent.
That is correct. Ren, a reminder to speak into the mic, please. Coyote. Pageantry. Pageantry.
Pageantry. PAGEANTRY. Pageantry.
That is correct. Trinity. Narcissistic. Narcissistic.
Narcissistic. NARCISSIC. Narcissistic.
That is incorrect. NARCISSISTIC. Jonathan. Occult. Occult.
Occult. OCCULT. Occult.
That is correct. Kajani. Scourge. Scourge.
Scourge.
Hold up. Ready? Okay.
Scourge. SCOURGE. Scourge.
That is correct. Nasia. Occurrence. Occurrence.
Occurrence. OCCURENCE. Occurrence.
That is incorrect. OCCURRENCE.
Okay.
Victoria. Grotesque. Grotesque.
Grotesque. GROTESQUE. Grotesque.
That is correct. We are at wrong number 8. Sienna. Hypothetical. Hypothetical.
Hypothetical. HYPOTHETICAL. Hypothetical.
That is correct. Mia. Parliamentarian. Parliamentarian.
Parliamentarian. Parliamentarian. Parliamentarian.
That is correct. Mana. Physiotherapy.
Physiotherapy. Physiotherapy. PHYSIOTHERAPY. Physiotherapy.
That is correct. Celine. Choreography.
Could you say it again?
Choreography.
Choreography. Choreography. CHOROGRAPHY. Choreography.
That is correct. Shania. Nonchalance. Nonchalance.
Nonchalance. Nonchalance. NONCHALANCE. Nonchalance.
That is correct. Jediah. Irrevocable. Irrevocable.
Irrevocable. Irrevocable. IRREVOCABLE. Irrevocable.
That is correct. Liam. Concurrence. Concurrence.
Concurrence. CONCURRENCE. Concurrence.
That is correct. Ren. Sycophantic. Ren, face the mic, please. Sycophantic.
Psychophantic.
It's not sycophantic. It is sycophantic.
SYNCOPHANTIC. Psychophantic.
That is incorrect. SYCOPHANTIC. Coyote. Disarmament. Disarmament.
Disarmament. DISARMAMENT. Disarmament.
That is correct. Trinity. Philanthropist. Philanthropist.
Philanthropist. PHILANTHROPist. Philanthropist.
That is correct. Jonathan. Reprimand. Reprimand.
Reprimand. REPRIMAND. Reprimand.
That is correct. Tajani. Tyranny. Tyranny.
Tyranny. TYRANNY. Tyranny.
That is correct. Nasia. Remember to look at the judges before you start, okay? Ignominious. Ignominious.
Can you repeat it again, please?
Ignominious.
Ignominious. IGNONIMINOUS. Ignominious. Start again? Yes. Okay. Ignominious. IGNONI. MIOUS. Ignominious.
I am hearing M.
Ignominious.
I think she said M. I heard it twice.
Ignominious. IGNO.
No, she said
One
M
more time?
here.
I can't be. Okay. Me.
I think that
I'm confused now. Okay. Ignominious. IGNONIMIOUS. Ignominious.
that is incorrect.
Okay.
IGNOMINIOUS. You said M. Yeah. Victoria. Your word is acolyte. Acolyte.
Acolyte. ACOLYTE. Acolyte.
That is correct. We're at wrong number 9, Sienna. Phlegm. Phlegm.
Phlegm. Phlegm. PHELGM. Phlegm.
That is incorrect. PHLEGM. Mia. Pharmaceutical. Pharmaceutical.
Pharmaceutical. Pharmaceutical. PHARMACEUTICAL. Pharmaceutical.
That is correct. Mana. Your word is pediatrician. Pediatrician.
Pediatrician. Pediatrician. PEDICTRITION. Pediatrician.
That is incorrect. PAEDIATRICIAN. Serlene? Recapitulation. Recapitulation.
Recapitulation. RECAPITULATION. Recapitulation.
That is correct. Shania? Psychoanalysis. Psychoanalysis.
Psychoanalysis. Psychoanalysis. PSYCHONALYSIS. Psychoanalysis.
That is incorrect. PSYCHOANALYSIS. Jediah, your word is inquisition. Inquisition.
Inquisition. INQUISITION. Inquisition.
That is correct. Liam? Hemorrhage. Hemorrhage.
Hemorrhage. HEM ORRAGE. Hemorrhage.
That is incorrect. HAEMORRHAGE. Hemorrhage. Ren? Nepotism. Nepotism.
Definition, please.
The practice among those with power or influence of favoring relatives or friends, especially by giving them jobs.
Okay. Nepotism. NEPOTISM. Nepotism.
That is correct. Coyote? Weird. Weird. It's weird.
Oh, weird. 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 Weird.
That is incorrect.
What was it?
Because you started with R first.
I just say R, Bruce. I say R. I just say R. I say R.
Yes, he said R. All right, so what's the decision, judges? All right, so that's incorrect. Trinity? Mediocrity. Mediocrity.
Mediocrity.
Wait a minute, please. Go ahead.
MEDIOCRITY. Mediocrity.
That is correct. Jonathan, your word is harmonious. Harmonious.
Harmonious. HARMONIOUS. Harmonious.
That is correct. Kajani, your word is accommodation. Accommodation.
Accommodation. ACCOMMODATION. Accommodation.
That is correct. Nasia, xenophobia. Xenophobia.
Xenophobia. XENOPHOBIA. Xenophobia.
That is correct. Victoria, accompaniment. Accompaniment.
Accompaniment. ACCOMPANIENT. Accompaniment.
That is incorrect. ACCOMPANIMENT. All right, and this is our last round, round number 10. Sienna? Remember, you have time to think. From the time I say the word, the judges have to look for the word think in the meantime. Variety. Variety.
Variety. VARIETY. Variety.
That is correct. Mia? Succinct. Succinct.
Succinct. Succinct. SUCCINT. Succinct.
That is incorrect. SUCCINCT. Succinct. Manner? Compatibility. Compatibility.
Compatibility. Compatibility. COMPATIBILITY. Compatibility.
That is correct. Charlene? Recipient. Recipient.
Recipient. RECIPIENT. Recipient.
That is incorrect. RECIPIENT. Recipient. Shania? Ruminant. Ruminant.
Ruminant. Ruminant. RUMINANT. Ruminant.
That is correct. Jediah? Oligarchy. Oligarchy.
Oligarchy. OLIGARCHY. Oligarchy.
That is correct. Liam? Auxiliary.
Auxiliary. AUXILIARY. Auxiliary.
That is correct. Ren? Asparagus. Asparagus.
Asparagus.
Speak into the mic, please.
Asparagus. ASPARGUS. Asparagus.
That is incorrect. ASPARAGUS. Asparagus. Coyote? Embezzlement. Embezzlement.
Embezzlement. EMBEZZLEMENT. Embezzlement.
That is correct. Trinity? Summarize. Summarize.
Summarize. SUMMERISE. Summarize.
That is incorrect. SUMMARISE. Summarize. Jonathan? Your word is bequeath. Bequeath.
Bequeath. BEQUEATH. Bequeath.
That is correct. Kajani? Obstetrician.
Obstetrician. Obstetrician. OBSTETRICIAN. Obstetrician.
That is correct. Nasia? Absorption. Absorption.
Absorption. AB SOR B TION. Absorption.
That is incorrect. ABSORP TION. Victoria? Propagandist. Propagandist.
Say that again, please.
Propagandist. Propagandist.
POR propagandist. POR GANIST propagandist.
That is incorrect. PROPAGANDIST. And that is the end. That's the end. We have another 20. So that's the end of wrong one. We have to go again.
Okay, we have come to the end of round one, and we'll take a short break for a little snack, and then when we come back, we'll tell you where the standings are like before we go into round two. So the students, just go to, up here, go to the back to get something to eat and drink. You'll be served, and that's the thing. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Somebody give me. You need to find Mr. Go ahead. The DAT man.
Yes, so we have a short intermission at this time. The first round of the competition has already gone. I have with me Sir Alexander. Mr. Alexander, good morning to you. By the way, he's the president of the Dominica Association of Teachers. I know this is an annual event, yes, but let's backtrack a little. How was just the other day we laid to rest a man who has contributed towards the education sector here in Dominica, but how was the funeral on Saturday?
Oh, he had a very good send-off. Most of us went down. We had a few teachers also with us at the funeral, so he had a very good send-off. because we emphasize what he has done for the union, and other persons also gave their perspective of him, what he did as a principal and also as a teacher. So.
What was his contribution, or what can you remember of Mr. Kenneth Samuel, his contribution towards education in Dominica?
Well, first I know he was a teacher, and then he was a principal at various schools. I think he was a principal at Vickers, I think also Bells, and W. Stevens. I'm not sure, I can't remember for the other schools. But then he also was one of the pioneer members of the DAT. And of course, he was the first president of the union, setting the pace for the union.
Let's talk about the DAT. What is the role of the DAT, the Dominic Association of Teachers? How is it doing, and what sort of support are you expecting from the general public and the ministry, teachers on a whole, to ensure that the DAT remains a strong force in Dominica?
Well, the focus of DAT is basically on teachers, representing the interests of teachers, ensure that teachers their workplaces are in good conditions, they have proper salaries, and other things. Because what we also do, we provide, we recognize that health insurance is key. So we have a health insurance scheme for our teachers. We also provide professional development training for teachers, because we feel that is crucial. Because education is not static. So if things keep changing, so therefore we organize training programs for our teachers. We also give support to teachers who are further in education financially as well too, and that sort of thing. Also, so like we're having right now, this Spelling Bee, where we recognize the work, because we recognize the deficiencies that some schools are having. So the Spelling Bee is one of the areas that we try to see if we can help it to improve literacy and as such also improve the writing skills of our students. So we work in that side, and we try to work as much as possible with the Ministry of Education in doing those sort of things.
So what about the union in terms of trying to get their concerns addressed from a union perspective? How has it been going on? What are some of the concerns, and are they being addressed?
Anything teachers come to us with, we address it. And I think one of the major concern right now is permanent appointments, and that we're addressing. And thank God the government is the Ministry of Education listen to us, and appointments are being made. Because I think you can't be working for years and you have no tenure. So we reckon that we're pursuing that as much as possible, and right now we're also deep in negotiation for a new salary agreement for them as well too.
And how about other activities? I know at one point in the year you acknowledge teachers who served for many years. You also have sports. You have different activities to sort of keep the teachers and the union going, the association going.
All right. Okay, we have basically 2 activities per year where we call our general membership, and we call all teachers together. That is, first right after Easter, we have either our general meeting or biannual meeting. So, and during those times also to recognize teachers, members of DAT who have retired, because we recognize the contribution they have made to education. And we also on World Teachers Day, which we celebrate here on the first Friday in October. Now, World Teachers Day actually is the 5th of October, but DAT negotiated with the government to make the first Friday in October a non-teaching day for teachers, so they could come together and celebrate and be with each other and share and just be with each other on that day. So on that day too, we also recognize teachers who have retired. Okay, that's the thing.
Who can become a member of the DAT? Is it open to all teachers or just private schools, government-run schools? Who qualifies?
It's open to all teachers from preschool to college.
And then do they have to pay dues?
Yeah, the dues is just $20 the dues a month, yes, a month, that's all.
What about training overseas if a teacher has to travel overseas, whether it's for medical attention or training? How do you assist there?
Well, we try off, as I said, we have the health insurance. So if you have, if you're part of the health insurance group, the group health insurance, if you have to go overseas for a treatment, of course you'll get a referral from a doctor here, and you can travel. I've known many people who have done that and gone overseas, get the treatment, and they came back, right? I mean, if you can also go on your own, right? I mean, what will not be covered by the plan is your travel, but your medicals will be covered once you have all your bills and present all your bills. Because some people feel that, I mean, let me go overseas and do my thing instead. So you can go, yes, but let them know, let the insurance company know that you're going out to do it, and they will advise you what to do. You come up, you bring back all your bills, and they will work with you.
Opportunities during the summer period, maybe excursions or teacher exchange, or developing some sort of partnership with St. Vincent or St. Lucia or Martinique, giving them an opportunity to travel.
Well, that we have not yet done, but that's something we're looking at, and see how we can really do some exchange programs. There's some teachers who have gone on exchange program, but not really organized by DAT per se. All right, but we want to look. We are looking at that from our own perspective because I think it's very important. I mean, we're affiliates to the Caribbean Union of Teachers and also to Education International, and that is something the CUT, which is the Caribbean Union of Teachers, is also looking at very seriously as well too, in terms of having an exchange of teachers and that sort of thing. Some countries are doing it. I feel like Jamaica and Trinidad, but for us it's kind of a little difficult in terms of air access and all that kind of thing, whatever and so on. But that is something we're looking at seriously as well too.
You have how do you go about selecting your executive, and how long do they have to serve for? 5 years, 3 years, 1 year?
Well, the executive is elected at the biannual, which is as long 2 years, yes. In April, well, not I should say April because it depends on where Easter falls. Usually it's the Wednesday after Easter Sunday. All right, so that's every 2 years, and as long as you're elected, you can serve as long as you want. Because we had persons who serve as much as 18 years, and some are still serving for about 16 or 17 years. So as long as you're elected and you want to serve, you continue serving, and that's the other thing. What we are doing right now, I'll tell you what we're doing, and taking it very seriously, is looking at having school reps in our schools. School teachers in the schools to represent the DAT. That way we can easily disseminate information to teachers. And from those persons who are the school reps, we can also look at them as an extension of the national executive, because we will meet periodically and discuss items, the whole ideas, structures, or whatever, and so on. Yes, and also we want to sort of develop zones, and that so that teachers can meet in their zones and exchange ideas and do things. Yes, exactly. Because this year in June, for that matter, for the first time, we're looking at having an education conference in June. It's a workshop with a conference, okay? And we want to bring all those who have volunteered to be school reps. They will go for a whole week of training, and then after that we'll see how it goes. Because we're also working with Walden University in the US, and which is offering teachers discounted prices on further studies as well. So
that can be done online or
online.
Okay.
Online.
So even while you're teaching,
yes, you can do your work. Yes. And they're getting good discounts, because preschool teachers are getting 50% discount, right? And then the boys other ranges are getting 40% discount on tuition fees. Not necessarily. No, if they choose to, yes. If they choose to, yes. Yes. It's a recognized university, so.
So here today, what happens here at the PSU for the rest of today? And
Well,
what happens for the rest of the day?
today is the secondary schools competition. Tomorrow we have the primary schools, and then we'll also have the distribution of the trophies as well tomorrow, after the primary schools tomorrow.
It's a good thing you mentioned that. So being a member of the DAT is open to secondary, primary.
And everybody, all teachers, all teachers on island.
I'm happy that you embrace the preschool teachers.
Yes.
Because some years ago that's not how it was.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Maybe primary or secondary school.
But I think they were always invited, but I guess some never came on board. Right? And I think more now, because I think now that since the government is doing attaching preschools to primary schools, so more than ever now we're hoping that these preschool teachers would really see the need to be part of the DAT, because we represent all teachers in Dominica, and that's the thing, whether you're a member or not, right? So.
Are there concerns that you as the president you like addressed, or concerns, what you'd like to see your teachers do more, your principals do more?
Well, we have concerns, and we are hoping to for a meeting with the officials of the Ministry of Education to discuss some of these concerns that we have, because we sometimes feel that some principals are not pulling the weight, right? And also, I know some teachers that is disgruntled because they have been working, some of them working for years, and they are not permanently appointed, and even if their positions, they're not sure where they are and that kind of thing. So that is causing a little issue with them, or whatever and so on. But as I said, we are working on those things to get those things rectified, and the government, I must say, are listening to us, and they're making those appointments. It's not coming as we want it to come, but it's coming. Okay, so but there's some things that definitely need to be addressed in our schools.
Do you think you have enough teachers in the schools who are skilled in the area of music, like you teaching music, special education, children who are disadvantaged physically, and so is there a need for more of that type of?
There definitely is a need for that. There definitely is a need for that. Well, especially the arts, music, drama, arts. I think we are failing our students in those areas, right? I remember as a child going to school, that was part and parcel for our school. Even when I, as a young teacher, that was part and parcel of our schools. A school year would not pass without the school putting up a performance, a show, this kind of things. But now we don't see this happening anymore, right? And I think, when I look at this young man here, listen to this young man who sang the national anthem. This is a young man, we don't see those things often, right? When I taught at Goodwill Primary School, we had an excellent all-boys choir. And if there's one thing that these youngsters felt that they could do well, was to sing. And they go all out in doing it well. Right now, there's nothing happening in terms of music in our schools. And music is so important to students. I don't think we understand how much it can help students. And that's the other thing. If we look at the developed countries, all the schools have music programs because they recognize the importance of that. How much it develops the children's minds, and they says yes. Yes. We had all those festivals going on, whatever and so on. But now we have nothing we're giving our children nothing nowadays. Just bring them to schools and then they send them home and whatever and so on. Too much now. That's the whole thing. So we need those sort of things. I will always say this program that we had, the junior secondary program that we had, I will always say that was a program we should never have gotten rid of.
I guess
right? Well, now with the good school coming up now, I really hope that something like that can be on again, because
economy, a better country,
yes.
To cater for everybody, and if that person has a shortcoming in one area, it might be stronger in another area.
when I look, let me tell you something. When I see students that I taught in JSP, right, and what they have become today, right. In fact, one of them is sponsoring part of our event today, right. She has done so well for herself, a JSP product. She never entered the secondary school. She was just JSP.
What was the reason for ending this program? Was it lack of teachers?
I know it wasn't lack of teachers. It wasn't lack of teachers. I think too much focus was done on academics and that sort of thing. So yeah. So
As we wind up, tomorrow, what happens here tomorrow?
tomorrow the primary schools are coming. We have 7 primary schools competing. Yes.
Take them from across the
Yeah, because we had district competitions in the various districts. Okay, so the winners from the competition are competing tomorrow. We also have the top students are also competing in the Champ of Champs, and then we'll distribute the trophies as well tomorrow. Today is just the secondary school. Tomorrow, not today. Tomorrow, we're giving all trophies tomorrow, both primary and secondary. Okay.
But I'm very impressed with the work that you continue to do. You are doing here with the DAT. But how about the preschool children? What can you do? Because you said DAT, you brought in the preschool. So what is the DAT doing at the preschool level? Because you have teachers who are members of DAT.
Yeah, we have some of it. We have a few years. Well, we have not done. I don't think we have done much, right? Well, they organize their own thing, whatever, and so on. But because preschools, a lot of the preschools are privately owned. As I said, now the government is bringing them into the primary schools. I mean, we'll do a lot more. I remember I have attended quite a few workshops looking at preschool education or early childhood education. In fact, I'm planning to meet with Mrs. George so we can discuss further on how we can assist in early childhood education, that sort of thing. So,
thanks again, Mr. Alexander. Keep up the good work, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay, so we are settling down. For the second round of the competition. Just to let you know that we are broadcasting on 91.1 as we speak, and 107.9. So our listeners on 107.9 and 91.1, we want to say good morning to you once again and welcome aboard. We started on all our FM frequencies, but we have to focus on University of the West Indies Global Campus, a special infomercial live now in studio on 93.1 and 88.7. But we continue with the second leg of the competition here at the secondary school level, the Dominica Association of Teachers 2025 Spelling Bee competition sponsored by Macmillan Education Caribbean. When we hear of Macmillan Education Caribbean, we're talking about education, books, textbooks, etc. We had Mr. John Lewis of Jay's Bookstore Limited, who addressed the ceremony earlier on this morning before the competition actually began. And we want to thank Jay's Limited for being a partner over the past many years of this competition. We are very grateful for your support. So we also want to thank Kyrie FM, management of Kyrie FM, for coming on board as well as part of this program. We are getting ready as the students are settling down for the second leg of the competition. We heard from Mr. Mervyn Alexander. Know him for many years, a teacher at Goodwill Secondary School who taught music, and we talked about music and everything else. But let's get ready. We're going to go across for the second leg of the competition. So pleasant listening and pleasant viewing once again.
Officials were not with us at the time because they were at a meeting. Presently, we have 2 education officers. The first time we want to introduce them. So we have Miss Nadia Farrell, and she's the Assistant Chief Education Officer. And we also have with us Miss Quinn Thomas, who is the SEO Secondary School. Let's make them feel welcome. All right. And we are going to continue with our second round. It's competition time again. Get your game face on and may the best team win. All right, let's proceed.
Sienna. Optimistic. Optimistic.
Optimistic. Optimistic. O P T I M I S T I C. Optimistic.
That is correct. Mia. Exorbitant. Exorbitant.
Exorbitant. EXORBITANT. Exorbitant.
That is correct. Manner. Malignant. Malignant.
Malignant. MALIGNANT. Malignant.
That is correct. Shirlene. Celine. Triennial. Triennial.
Triennial. TRIENNAL. Triennial.
That is incorrect. TRIENNIAL. Shania. Psychology. Psychology.
Psychology. Psychology. PSYCHOLOGY. Psychology.
That is correct. Jediah. Awkward. Awkward.
Awkward. AWKWARD. Awkward.
That is correct. Liam. Psychiatrist. Psychiatrist. Psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist. PSYCHIATRIST. Psychiatrist.
That is correct. Bren. Thoroughbred. Thoroughbred.
Thoroughbred. THRO. OUGHBRED. Thoroughbred. Thoroughbred.
That is incorrect. Could you please speak into the mic? THOROUGHBRED. Thoroughbred. KOD. Misdemeanor. Misdemeanor. Misdemeanor.
Misdemeanor. MISDEAMENOUR. Misdemeanor.
That is incorrect. MISDEMEANOUR. Misdemeanor. Trinity. Millennium. Millennium.
Millennium. MILLENNIUM. Millennium.
That is incorrect. MILLENNIUM. Jonathan, your word is Jadam. Jadam.
Gendarme. GENDARME. Gendarme.
That is correct. Kajani, audacious. Audacious.
Audacious. AUDACIOUS. Audacious.
That is correct. Nasia, your word is questionnaire. Questionnaire.
Questionnaire. QUE STIONNAIRE. Questionnaire.
That is correct. Victoria, auspices, 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 auspices,
Auspices. O. Auspices.
auspices,
6. Auspices.
auspices,
Auspices.
auspices,
Auspices.
auspices,
Auspices.
auspices,
Auspices. Oh, auspices. OSPECIS. Auspices.
That is incorrect. AUSPICES, auspices. Sienna? Transient, transient,
Transient. 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 Transient.
that is correct. Mia? Squirm, squirm,
Squirm. SQUIRM. Squirm.
that is correct. Mana? Kilojoule, kilojoule,
Kilojoule. KILOJOULE. Kilojoule.
that is correct. Celine? Prejudice, prejudice,
Prejudice. PREJUDICE. Prejudice.
that is incorrect. PREJUDICE, prejudice. Shania? Appoggiatura, appoggiatura,
Appoggiatura. 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 Appoggiatura.
that is correct. Jadia? Etiquette, etiquette,
Etiquette. ETTIQUETTE. Etiquette.
that is incorrect. ETIQUETTE, etiquette. Liam? Vengeance, vengeance,
Vengeance. VENGEANCE. Vengeance.
that is correct. Ren? Horrendous, horrendous. Closer to the mic.
Horrendous. HORRENDOUS. Horrendous.
That is correct. Coyote? Maneuver, maneuver, maneuver,
Maneuver. MAN. OUVRE. Maneuver.
that is incorrect. MANEUVER. Trinity. Philosophy. Philosophy.
Philosophy. PHILOSOPhy. Philosophy.
That is correct. Jonathan. Polygamous. Polygamous.
Polygamous. Polygamous. POLYGAMOUS. Polygamous.
That is correct. Kajani. Obstreperous. Obstreperous.
Obstreperous. Obstreperous. OBSTRE. PEROUS. Obstreperous.
That is correct. Nasia. Embryology. Embryology.
Embryology. I can start. EMBRYOLOGY. Embryology.
That is correct. Victoria, your word is diarrhea. Diarrhea.
Diarrhea. DIARRHEA. Diarrhea.
That is correct. Sienna. Ayatollah. Ayatollah.
Ayatollah. Ayatollah. AYATOLLAH. Ayatollah.
That is correct. Mia. Dachshund. Dachshund.
Dachshund. DACHSHUND. Dachshund.
That is correct. Mana. Perjury. Perjury.
Perjury. Perjury. PERJURY. Perjury.
That is correct. Celine. Quadrilateral. Quadrilateral.
Quadrilateral. QUAD RIL ATERAL. Quadrilateral.
That is correct. Shania. Omnivorous. Omnivorous.
Omnivorous. Omnivorous. OMNIVOROUS. Omnivorous.
That is correct. Jedia. Tuberculosis. Tuberculosis.
Tuberculosis. TUBERCULOSIS. Tuberculosis.
That is correct. Liam. Colleague. Colleague.
Excuse me?
Colleague.
Oh, okay. Colleague. COLLEAGE. Colleague.
That is correct. Ren. Disenfranchise. Disenfranchise.
In a sentence, please.
The legislation was criticized for potentially disenfranchising minority voters, to deprive someone of the rights to vote.
Disenfranchise. DISENFRANCHISE. Disenfranchise.
That is correct. Coyote? Differentiation. Differentiation.
Differentiation. DEFR. Differentiation or differentiation?
Differentiation.
ENCIATION. Differentiation.
Okay, that is incorrect. DIFFERENTIATION. Trinity? Floriculture. Floriculture.
Floriculture. FLORICULTURE. Floriculture.
That is incorrect. FLORICULTURE. Jonathan? Quadruplicate. Quadruplicate.
Quadruplicate. Quadruplicate. QUADRUPLICATE. Quadruplicate.
That is correct. Kajani? Bankruptcy. Bankruptcy.
Bankruptcy. BANKRUPCTCY. Bankruptcy.
That is incorrect. BANKRUPTCY. Bankruptcy. Nasia? Hemoglobin. Hemoglobin.
Hemoglobin. HAEMOGLOBIN. Hemoglobin.
That is correct. Victoria? Gastronomy. Gastronomy.
Gastronomy. GASTRONOMY. Gastronomy.
That is correct. Word number 4. Sienna? Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit. FAHRENHEIT. Fahrenheit.
That is correct. Mia? Vicarious. Vicarious.
Vicarious.
Vicarious. Vicarious. I looked up the meaning, the pronunciation, and it said vicarious. Listen, vicarious, vicarious, just spell the word.
Okay. Vicarious. VICARIOUS. Vicarious.
That's correct. Mana? Appendix. Appendix.
Appendix. APPENDIX. Appendix.
That is incorrect. APPENDIX. Shania? Shirlene, sorry. Linguistic. Linguistic.
Linguistic.
I N G U I S T I C. Linguistic.
That is correct. Shania? Eulogy. Eulogy.
Eulogy. Eulogy. EULOGY. Eulogy.
That is correct. Jediah? Favoritism. Favoritism.
Favoritism. FAVOURITISM. Favoritism.
That is correct. Liam? Camaraderie.
Camaraderie. CAMARADERIE. Camaraderie.
That is correct. Ren? Pandemonium. Pandemonium.
Pandemonium. PANDEN.
Miss, could you start over and speak louder? The judges need to hear you. Speak up.
Pandemonium.
Yes.
PANDEMONIUM.
Speak into the mic.
Pandemonium.
That is correct. Coyote. Memorandum. Memorandum.
Definition.
A written message in business or diplomacy.
Re-say the word, please.
Sorry?
Re-say the word.
Memorandum.
Memorandum. MEMORNDUM. Memorandum.
That is incorrect. MEMORANDUM. Kajani? Trinity, sorry. Acquaintance. Acquaintance.
Acquaintance. AQUI. NTANC. Acquaintance.
That is incorrect. ACQUAINTANCE. Jonathan? Vehement. Vehement.
Vehement. Vehement. VEHEMENT. Vehement.
That is correct. Kajani? Maintenance. Maintenance.
Maintenance.
Maintenance.
Maintenance. MAINTENANCE. Maintenance.
That is correct. Nasir? Incandescent. Incandescent.
Can you repeat the word again, please?
Incandescent. Incandescent.
Incandescent. INCANDESCENT. Incandescent.
That is correct. Victoria? Haphazard. Haphazard.
Haphazard.
Haphazard. Haphazard.
Haphazard. HAPHAZAD. Haphazard.
That is incorrect. HAPHAZARD. Haphazard. Number 5. Wrong number 5. Back to you, Sienna. Disciplinarian. Disciplinarian.
Disciplinarian. Disciplinarian.
DIS CIPLINARIAN. Disciplinarian.
That is correct. Mia, gruesome. Gruesome.
Gruesome. Gruesome. GRUESOME. Gruesome.
That is correct. Mana, asthma. Asthma.
Asthma. Asthma. ASTHMA. Asthma.
That is correct. Celine, miniature. Miniature.
Miniature. MINIATURE. Miniature.
That is correct. Shania, retrieve. Retrieve.
Retrieve. Retrieve. RETRIEVE. Retrieve.
That is correct. Jadia, aromatherapy. Aromatherapy.
Aromatherapy. AROMATHERAPY. Aromatherapy.
That is correct. Liam, capuchin.
Capuchin. CAPUCHIN. Capuchin.
That is correct. Ren, closer to the mic, Ren. Closer. Thank you. Closer. Stay right there. Significance. Significance.
Significance. SIGNIFICANCE. Significance.
That is correct. Zygote. Zygote.
Zygote. ZYGOTE. Zygote.
That is correct. Trinity, frivolous. Frivolous.
Frivolous. FRIVOLOUS. Frivolous.
That is correct. Jonathan, skeptical. Skeptical.
Skeptical. Skeptical. SKEPTICAL. Skeptical.
That is incorrect. SCEPTICAL. Kajani, photosynthetic. Photosynthetic.
Photosynthetic. PHOTOSYNTHETIC. Photosynthetic.
That is correct. Nasia, ignoramus. Ignoramus.
Can you repeat it one more time, please?
Ignoramus. Ignoramus.
Ignoramus. IGNORAMOUS. Ignoramus.
That is incorrect. IGNORAMUS. Ignoramus. Victoria, anonymous. Anonymous.
Anonymous. ANONYMOUS. Anonymous.
That is correct. All right, so we're at wrong number 6, word number 6. Sienna. Chateau. Chateau.
Chateau. Chateau. C-H-A-T-E-A-U. Chateau.
That is correct. Mia. Dysentery. Dysentery.
Dysentery. D-Y-S-E-N-T-E-R-Y. Dysentery.
That is correct. Manner. Animosity. Animosity.
Animosity. Animosity. A-N-I-M-O-S-I-T-Y. Animosity.
That is correct. Celine. Plagiarize. Plagiarize.
Plagiarize. P-L-A-G-A-R-I-Z-E. Plagiarize.
Okay, that's incorrect. P-L-A-G-I-A-R-I-S-E. Shania. Oscillation. Oscillation.
Oscillation. Oscillation. A-U. S-C-I-L-L-I-A-T-I-O-N.
That is incorrect. O-S-C-I-L-L-A-T-I-O-N. Oscillation. Jediah. Critic. Critic.
Critique. C-R-I-T-I-Q-U-E. Critique.
That is correct. Liam. Diagnostic. Diagnostic.
Diagnostic. D-I-A-G-N-O-S-T-I-C. Diagnostic.
That is correct. Ren. Miscellaneous. Miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous. M-I-S-C-E-L-L-A-N-E-O-U-S. Miscellaneous.
That is correct. Coyote. Luscious. Luscious. Luscious.
Luscious. L O Luscious. C-I-O-U-S. Luscious.
That is incorrect. L-U-S-C-I-O-U-S. Luscious. Trinity. Conceivable. Conceivable.
Conceivable. C-O-N-C-I-E-V-A-L-B-E. Conceivable.
That is incorrect. C-O-N-C-E-I-V-A-B-L-E. Conceivable. Jonathan. Champagne. Champagne.
Champagne. Champagne. C-H-A-M-P-A-G-N-E. Champagne.
That is correct. Kajani. Peculiarity. Peculiarity.
Peculiarity.
Peculiarity.
Peculiarity. P-E-C-U-L-I-A-R-I-T-Y. Peculiarity.
That is correct. Nasia. Galvanize. Galvanize.
Galvanize. N-I-Z-E, galvanize.
That is correct. Victoria. Marcia. Galvanize.
Galvanize. G-A-L-V-A-N-I-Z-E, galvanize.
Thank you.
Suspicious. Suspicious. Suspicious.
Suspicious. Suspicious. S-U-S-P-I-C-I-O-U-S. Suspicious.
That is correct. Number 7. Stringent. Stringent.
Stringent. Stringent. S-T-R-I-N-G-E-N-T. Stringent.
That is correct. Mia. Deceitfulness. Deceitfulness.
Deceitfulness. D-E-C-E-I-T-F-U-L-N-E-S-S. Deceitfulness.
That is correct. Manner. Accomplice. Accomplice.
Accomplice. Accomplice. A-C-C-O-M-P-L-I-C-E. Accomplice.
That is correct. Capricious. Celine, capricious.
Capricious. C-A-P-R-I-C-I-O-U-S. Capricious.
That is correct. Shania. Franchise. Okay. Franchise.
Franchise. Franchise. F-R-A-N-C-H-I-S-E. Franchise.
That is correct. Jedia. Assiduous. Assiduous.
Assiduous. A-C-I-D-U-O-U-S. Assiduous.
Judges? Okay, that's incorrect. A-S-S-I-D-U-O-U-S. Assiduous. Liam? Neurosis.
Neurosis. Okay. Neurosis. N-E-U-R-O-S-I-S. Neurosis.
That is correct. Ren? Ancillary. Ancillary.
Ancillary. A-N-C-I-L-L-I-A-R-Y. Ancillary.
That is incorrect. A-N-C-I-L-L-A-R-Y. Ancillary. Mr. Samuel? Derelict. Derelict.
Derelict. D-E-R-E-L-I-C-T. Derelict.
That is correct. Trinity? Vacillate. Vacillate.
What?
Vacillate. Vacillate.
Vacillate.
Vacillate.
Vacillate.
Mhm.
V-A-S-I-L-A-T-E. Vacillate.
That is incorrect. V-A-C-I-L-L-A-T-E. Jonathan? Savory. Savory. Some people say savory. Savory snacks, savory.
Can you use it in a sentence, please?
Sure. Having a pleasant taste or smell, especially salt or spicy rather than sweet. The chef prepared a savory stew with herbs, vegetables, and tender beef. Some people say savory, some people say savory.
Savory. SAVO. URY, savory.
That is correct. Kajani. Bagatelle. Bagatelle.
Bagatelle. Bagatelle. Bagatelle. Bagatelle.
That is correct. Nasir. Inebriation. Inebriation. Inebriation.
Can you repeat this again for me, please?
Inebriation.
Inebriation. INEBRIATION. Inebriation.
That is correct. Victoria. Alienation. Alienation.
Alienation. ALIENATION. Alienation.
That is correct. Word number 8, Sienna. Reconnaissance. Reconnaissance. Reconnaissance.
Reconnaissance. RECONNAISSANCE. Reconnaissance.
That is correct. Mia. Tempestuous. Tempestuous.
Tempestuous. TEMPESTUOUS. Tempestuous.
That is correct. Mana. Neurosis. Neurosis.
Neurosis. Neurosis.
It was called already. Bougainvillea. Bougainvillea.
Bougainvillea. Bougainvillea. BOUGAINVILLEA. Bougainvillea.
That is correct. Celine. Catechism. Catechism.
Catechism. CATECHISM. Catechism.
That is correct. Shania. Prestigious. Prestigious.
Prestigious. Prestigious. PRESTIGOUS. Prestigious.
That is incorrect. PRESTIGIOUS. Jedia. Susceptibility. Susceptibility.
Susceptibility. SUSCEPTIBILITY. Susceptibility.
That is correct. Liam. Deteriorate. Deteriorate.
Deteriorate. DETIORATE. Deteriorate.
That is incorrect. DETERIORATE. Ren? Berserk. Berserk.
Berserk. BERSERK. Berserk.
That is correct. Mr. Samuel? Trepidation. Trepidation.
Trepidation. TREPIDATION.
That is
Trepidation.
correct. Yes. Trinity? Molecular. Molecular.
Molecular. MOLLECULAR. Molecular.
That is incorrect. MOLECULAR. Jonathan? Clement. Clement.
Clement. Clement. CLAIMANT. Clement.
That is correct. Kajani? Penumbra. Penumbra.
Penumbra. Penumbra. PENUMBRA. Penumbra.
That is correct. Nasia? Personification. Personification.
Personification. PERSONIFICATION. Personification.
That is correct. Victoria? Retaliate. Retaliate.
Retaliate. RELIATATE. Retaliate.
That is incorrect. RETALIATE. Word number 9. Back to you, Sienna. Thievery. Thievery.
Thievery. Thievery. THIEVERY. Thievery.
That is correct. Mia? Espionage. Espionage.
Espionage. Espionage. ESPIONAGE. Espionage.
That is correct. Mana? Genuflection. Genuflection.
Genuflection. Genuflection. GENUFLECTION. Genuflection.
That is correct. Celine? Endoscope. Endoscope.
Endoscope. ENDOSCOPE. Endoscope.
That is correct. Shania? Gingivitis. Gingivitis.
Gingivitis. Gingivitis. GINGIVITS. Gingivitis.
That is incorrect. GINGIVITIS. I think you missed the I. Jedia? Totalitarian. Totalitarian.
Totalitarian.
Totalitarian.
Totalitarian.
Totalitarian.
Tarian. That's correct. Liam? Dehydration. Dehydration.
Okay. Dehydration. Dehydration. Dehydration.
That is correct. Ren? Archaeology. Archaeology.
Repeat, please.
Archaeology.
Okay. Archaeology. ARCHAEOLOGY. Archaeology.
That is correct. Mr. Samuel? Preposterous.
Preposterous.
That. Yes.
Preposterous.
Preposterous.
Preposterous. PREPOSTEROUS. Preposterous.
That is correct. Trinity? Efficiency.
Efficiency. EFFICIENCY. Efficiency.
That is correct. Jonathan? Delineate.
Could you repeat that?
Sorry?
Could you repeat that?
Delineate.
Okay. Delineate. 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 Delineate.
That is correct. Kajani? Shrubbery. Shrubbery.
Strawberry.
Sorry. Shrubbery.
Strawberry.
Not strawberry, you know. Shrubbery. Okay.
Strawberry.
Right.
Strawberry. Okay. Strawberry. SCHRUBBERY. Strawberry.
Incorrect? Okay, it's incorrect. He also mispronounced it. So it's incorrect. But he didn't pronounce it properly, you know. Yeah. Okay. All right. Nasir. Circumstantial. Circumstantial.
Circumstantial. CIRCUMSTANCIAL. Circumstantial?
That is incorrect. CIRCUMSTANTIALT, not C. Victoria? Meticulous. Meticulous.
Meticulous.
Meticulous.
Meticulous. METICULOUS. Meticulous.
That is correct. And everyone's last word. Sienna? Concessionaire. Concessionaire.
Okay. Concessionaire. 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 Concessionaire.
That is incorrect. Concessionaire. Mia? Dungeon. Dungeon. Dungeon.
Dungeon. Dungeon. DUNGEON. Dungeon.
That is correct. Manner? Urethra. Urethra.
Urethra. Urethra. URETHRA. Urethra.
That is correct. Celine? Magnesium. Magnesium.
Magnesium. Magnesium. Magnesium. Magnesium.
That is incorrect. Magnesium. Magnesium. Shania? Absenteeism. Absenteeism.
Absenteeism. Absenteeism. ABSENTEEISM. Absenteeism.
That is correct. Jadia? Autonomous. Autonomous.
Autonomous. AUTONOMOUS. Autonomous.
That is correct. Liam? Your word is sparsely.
Sorry?
Sparsely.
Oh. Sparsely. SPARSELY. Sparsely.
That is correct. Ren? Municipality. Municipality.
Municipality. MUNICIPALITY.
That is incorrect. MUNICIPALITY. Mr. Samuel, your word is feign. Feign.
You can give me a definition and use it in a sentence also.
Sure. To pretend to be affected by a feeling, a state, or injury. The soccer player appeared to feign injury to waste time as the match neared its end.
Feign. FEIGN. Feign.
That is correct. Trinity? Undernourished. Undernourished.
Undernourished. UNDERNOURISHED. Undernourished.
That is correct. Jonathan? Homogeneous. Homogeneous.
Homogeneous. Homogeneous. HOMOGENEOUS. Homogeneous.
That is correct. Kajani? Schizophrenia. Schizophrenia.
Schizophrenia.
Can we have silence, please?
Schizophrenia. 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 Schizophrenia.
That is correct. Nasia? Privilege. Privilege. Privilege.
Excuse me, Miss, but wasn't privilege already said? Huh, okay. Privilege, sorry. Privilege, privilege.
That is incorrect. Privilege. Victoria. Savvy.
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 Savvy. SAVVY. Savvy.
That is correct. And this is the end. No, not wrong too. That's the end. No, just.
Let us all give the round of applause to all the spellers. And now we are going to deliberate of the marks, of the scores for each individual student, and we'll get back to you with the results. Those of you can gracefully lead off. Thank you. Gracefully lead off, sir. All right, thank you.
Competition organized by the Dominica Association of Teachers and is also sponsored by Macmillan Education Caribbean, of which Mr. Jay's, Mr. Luis and his business are part of. Jay's Bookstore Limited forms an integral part of that. We want to thank you so much for taking the time to listen and to watch this very interesting debate, not debate, beg your pardon, but spelling bee competition. We are so used to carrying the debates, but this one is the spelling bee organized by the Dominica Association of Teachers here at the Public Service Union building on Valley Road. We want to thank you all listeners and viewers for remaining tuned in to Kyrie FM from 10 o'clock this morning. We will get the results as soon as they are ready. I doubt the results will take a lot of time as the judges most of them have already tabulated, and it will be easygoing, smooth sailing. In just a little bit we will find out who the winner is, but you, the members of the public, you had an opportunity to do your own judging as you listened to the students spell out the words. You have the English pronunciation, you have the American pronunciation of some of the words. So some might say vicarious. I know it to be vicarious. Some say vicarious. I know it to be vicarious. I know it to be vicarious. Some say vicarious. Some say vicarious. Some say vicarious. So, you know, some of the words, but it's the same spelling, by the way. So whether you say it's one way, the English way, or the American way, it's spelled the same way. Mr. Mervyn Alexander is at the microphones and will speak shortly. He's the president of the Dominica Association of Teachers. By the way, it is organized by the Dominica Association of Teachers. Mr. Alexander.
There's some, just want to draw your attention to some things as the young people. I think we have to, and your high school students also, please, I'm a stickler for certain things. I listened to you very carefully this morning whilst you were on stage, and you wanted the announcer to repeat your word, and you simply just said, repeat. It would be very nice. Can you please repeat? A little bit of fairness, please. Also, there was another one. You said, what? So please, students, these are little things that go a long way to help you a little bit. So please think of yourselves when you are in public. So those little things, and what have you and so on. All right? So think of those things. The education office for secondary schools, so just say something to you guys, to all of us. Miss Green Thomas.
Thank you. Morning. Is morning? Afternoon? Good afternoon, everyone. Teachers, students, representative from the ministry and sponsors, I assume? Okay. I must say, students, I enjoyed this morning spelling bee. You did an excellent job. I can understand the pressure that you were under. I don't know if I could do that, at your age. So I really want to commend all of you who participated, and I'm waiting for the results so that we can cheer on the winners. But all of you did an excellent job. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Okay, let me first apologize for not being there earlier. We had some meetings to attend, but like Mrs. Thomas said, some of the words I had to Google them. Can you imagine? I did not know their definition, much less to spell them. So you did an excellent job, and it's not easy to be on the stage spelling, and we tend to forget the people who prep you for this competition. I know some parents probably had to be really, yes, like helping you, the teachers. So let's give a round of applause for the teachers and the parents. And I hope that next year, God willing, we can work closely with DAT, the Ministry of Education, to meet with us. Let's plan it and make this thing bigger and better. So thank you for having me, and thank you for your bravery on stage today.
Ready for the results of the spelling bee competition.
So making this a bigger event next year, and we make a solemn promise that we will work more closely with you moving forward. All right, this year's spelling bee has been rather interesting. We started in the second term where we had elimination rounds, and we want to just make some brief comments as to what we saw. So firstly, we would want to extend heartfelt thanks to all those who contributed to the success of this year's Spelling Bee. Our sponsor, Macmillan Publishing Company, and Jay's Bookstore Limited. We are really thankful for the assistance that you have given us. Students, judges, teachers, families, and supporters, your presence and participation made this event a true celebration of academic excellence and community spirit. This year's competition was a testament to your hard work and dedication of our young spellers. Beyond the excitement of the event itself, the Spelling Bee served as a valuable educational experience, offering students a wide range of benefits from strengthened vocabulary and improved studying habits to greater self-confidence, reliance, and public speaking skills. These outcomes support not only the academic growth, but also personal development that will last well beyond the classroom. That said, we must recognize some challenges that we faced from the second term. Several students struggled with common spelling difficulties such as silent letters, tricky vowel combination, homophones, and irregular spelling rules. And I'm sure some of this was demonstrated here this morning. Additionally, not all schools took part in the competition, despite having early access to the material. DAT heard your call, and the words were sent off before the school year began. In fact, when September began, all schools were furnished with the words. Again, we sent out the words in January, just in case we heard the normal complaint that we did not get the words. It was our hope that these words would have been integrated into your English instructions at schools, and all students, not only the competitors, would have received exposure to a wide range of new vocab. This limited participation was disappointing, as every student deserves a chance to develop and demonstrate their language skills. To address these issues, we encourage schools and educators to support students with consistent practice with spelling, expose students to new word patterns, and mock spelling activities at your school. We also advocate for the implementation of strategies such as using phonetical tools, encouraging reading, and organizing in-classroom spelling challenges, which would greatly improve performance and participation. Moreover, exposing your students to new words will significantly enhance their writing skills by expanding their vocab and improving their ability to express ideas creatively and clearly. This helps them develop stronger writing styles, refine their sentence structures, and increase reading comprehension skills. With a broader vocab, students gain confidence in both writing and speaking, while also sharpening their critical thinking and analytical skill, some things that we often complain of is lacking in our students. This exposure ultimately leads to better academic performance and prepares students to communicate more effectively across subject areas. As a union, we acknowledge the need to invest in some app where pronunciation can be standardized, because we saw this morning some of the difficulties experienced. Despite this setback, we remain optimistic. The talent and potential displayed here this morning reminds us of a bright future that lies ahead for the Dominican student. We are especially proud of our winners and participants who demonstrated courage, grace, and a love of learning. The Dominica Association of Teachers remains unwavering in its commitment to hosting the Spelling Bee and advancing educational development of Dominican students. This event is more than just a competition. It is a vital platform for nurturing intellectual growth, promoting language mastery, and empowering students to reach their fullest potential. DAT is dedicated to ensuring that every child has the opportunity to showcase their talent, develop confidence, and acquire valuable skills that will serve them throughout their academic and professional lives. We will continue to work closely with our educators, school, and the community to make the Spelling Bee an even more impactful and inclusive event in the years to come. Our commitment to excellence in education through initiatives like this is stronger than ever. We look forward to supporting and inspiring students in their pursuit of academic excellence. We look forward to even greater participation in next year's competition and invite all schools to join us in this ongoing journey to empower our students through language and literacy. As we close today's Spelling Bee, remember that every challenge and every word spelt brings you closer to your true potential. At the Dominica Association of Teachers, our motto is rising to true professionalism, and this competition embodies that spirit. It is about pushing beyond your limits, continually learning, and striving for excellence in everything that you do. Let today's achievement inspire you to keep rising in your academic journey, your careers, and your lives. Today we rise to true professionalism, one word at a time. Every word you spell, every challenge you overcome is a step towards your greater potential. This journey does not end here. Let us be reminded that with dedication, resilience, and love for learning, you can achieve anything. Keep striving, students. Keep growing, and always believe in the power of your words. Together we build. Together we grow. Together we succeed. Thank you.
The presentation of the packages from Jay's Bookstore Limited and Macmillan Education Caribbean in partnership with the Dominican Association of Teachers in a little bit, while the judges do the final touches on the results, the tabulation of the results of this competition here this afternoon. Once again, if you're joining us, good afternoon to you and welcome aboard as we bring this competition to a close. This is for the secondary school students, but at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning we will see the primary school students engage in the second leg of the competition at the primary school level, and then the presentation of, as we were told earlier on, as we heard from the president, the presentation of prizes will be presented for both the primary and the secondary school students tomorrow, following the second leg of the competition. but I can see from my end here several trophies on the table, which was set aside for the trophies on the stage. And the decoration, I'm not sure who did the decoration, but the person did a splendid job at that. Wonderful job in putting all this together.
The moment has arrived. Yeah, the moment has arrived that we are now going to announce where you all have placed. I'm not going to say the winners because you are all winners. So we are going to announce where you all have placed at the end of the competition. In the third position, the third place, we have the Orion Academy in third. With 320 points. Congratulations to the representative of Orion Academy, Liam Nesty and Ren Sebastian. Good job, good job. Where? Yes, right here. Hold on a second, please. The banner. 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 Hold on, Alice. 1 second. We want to make sure Macmillan is. You want them to go up? Go up. Mr. Lewis is presenting some vouchers to the students in third place, Orion Academy, which I'm sure will come in handy with those expensive textbooks. Thank you so very much. Let's give Orion Academy a round of applause. Awesome job, awesome job. Okay, now we're up to our second place or second position. And in the second place, we have the Convent High School with 360 points. They are represented by Sienna Andrew and Mia Joseph. Good job, ladies. Congratulations. Let's get on stage. Let's see you. Lovely photo op. Good job, good job. Can we, ladies? Thank you so very much. Good job, ladies. Thank you. Let's give them a round of applause again. A round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. Now, before I actually say who the winner is or the first place, I just want to say Isaiah Thomas Secondary, represented by Shania Kazimi. Was it Ayandale? Prosper. And then we have the Dominica Community High School by Mano Williams and Serlene Jeffrey. The Wesley High School by Nasia Roberts and Victoria Arroyo. The Pierre Child Secondary School, Coyote Samuel and Trinity Paquette. I just still want to say congratulations and thank you very much for participating and representing your schools. You did a very wonderful job, and as was said earlier, it takes courage to be up here and you're looking at everybody looking back at you and spelling the words. I mean, that's courage in and of itself. And in first place, I think the place is going to erupt maybe. We have the St. Mary's Academy in the first place. Represented by Jonathan Theophile and Kajani Deja with a total of 370 points. Congratulations, gentlemen. We're not done yet. We're not done as yet. Now we have the top spellers. It's wonderful that you won as a team, but we also take the opportunity to recognize the individuals who have scored the best, basically. So we actually have a tie on this list, you know. In third place, with 170 points from the Convent High School, we have Miss Sienna Andrew. They want to take another picture. Please, thank you. Now, like I said, we have a tie. We have a tie for second place. Not first, but second. And the two wonderful spellers we have in second place are, let me hear. Liam and who? Not quite. In second place, we have two schools. We have someone representing the Orion Academy, and that would be Liam Nesty. And the other person, another gentleman from the St. Mary's Academy, we have Kajani Deja. Congratulations, gentlemen. Congratulations to you and to all the people who helped prepare you for the competition. Good job. Alice, you could have been in the center, you know. And been flanked by the lovely gentleman. Yes, thank you. Got it? Okay. Okay, we're good. Thank you. Thank you so very much. And our top speller, at one point I thought this top speller had the world on his shoulders. When he got one word incorrect, I swear a globe landed on his shoulder and he was walking like this. However, our top speller with 190 points, representing the St. Mary's Academy, Jonathan Theophile. Let's give him a round of applause. Congratulations, Jonathan. I'm sure you feel vindicated now. Feel good? Can you come tell us exactly how you feel being the top speller? Putting you on the spot, darling. Let us know. Tell us. Talk to them.
Well, I don't really know, but like,
Yes, talk to them. Take your time.
I feel very alleviated because I was under a lot of pressure for the first round of the competition. And then when I started getting words wrong, I figured one word wrong, I felt like I lost the streak and maybe somebody else would have taken it from me, but I guess I kept it after all, and I feel very happy, and I feel very proud of myself.
Thank you so very much, Jonathan. Thank you. You did an awesome job. Congratulations. And we see that this whole process and everything, it can be very strenuous on the students themselves. They want to do well. They are proud of themselves. They want to represent not only themselves well, their parents, their schools well, so there can be some pressure. And yes, parents, teachers, students, he is the top speller. He got the top points. Okay, thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. We now have a token of appreciation for every single participant in the competition. So we would like to take this opportunity to recognize them by ensuring that each person gets a token. So can each student who participated please come forward and you can get a token of appreciation. We are going to begin first. Hold on 1 second, please. Excuse me. Everyone, quiet down 1 second, please. Let's quiet down 1 second, please. Hello. Excuse me, at the back. You have a query, you have a concern, that is fine. But that behavior at the back, it's not warranted. Thank you very much. Remember, there are other students, young people looking at you. So let's settle on parents. Thank you for cooperating. I appreciate your kindness. So we are going to recognize everyone. Thank you to Jays Limited, Mr. Luis, always the very most generous gentleman, Mr. Luis. So thank you for the token for each student, the students of Pierre Charles Secondary. Can you please come, Mr. Bogart? Mr. Bogart, the two of you this time. We're putting you on the spot. Thank you so much. Just know, after we're done, we have Pierre Charles Secondary, Coyote Samuel and Trinity Packet. Thank you so very much for participating. The Wesley High School, Nasia Roberts and Victoria Arrio. Ladies, wonderful job. Let's give them a round of applause, please. A round of applause. Takes a lot of courage to be up here and practice and effort.
Thank you so very much. The Dominica Community High School, represented by Emmanuel Williams and Serlin Jeffrey. Thank you so very much for participating. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you again to, we have our sponsors, Macmillan Education, as well as Mr. Luis from J's Limited. Thank you so very much for your generosity. It is greatly appreciated. And finally, we have the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School. Shania Kazimi and Ayadea Prosper. Let's give them a round of applause. Their hard work has paid off. They're here in the finals, represented themselves, their teachers, and their schools quite well. Thank you. Good job, ladies. Thank Yeah. Before we leave off, I'm told that we actually had two-way ties. So in the third place for top speller, we had Sienna Andrew of the Convent High School. In the second place, we had a tie with the St. Mary's Academy and the Orion Academy. We had Liam Nesty, Orion Academy, and St. Mary's Academy, Kajani Deja. And apparently there's a two-way tie for first place. St. Mary's Academy, Jonathan Theophile, and I do not have the young lady's name. And Mia Joseph for the Convent High School. Come. Thank you. Make sure you get the whole length. Yes. Beautiful smiles. I think beautiful smile. She starts to grin, huh? It's not on the paper. Okay, now we give the vote of thanks. I'm going to call on Miss Carla Douglas, our second vice president of the Dominica Association of Teachers. Enjoy.
Good afternoon to everybody. Good afternoon to everybody. Okay, we want to say thank you to our sponsors, to everyone who made today possible. Students, we want to say thank you to everyone who made today possible, especially Mr. Luis of J's Bookstore, J's Limited, Miss Alice Laver of Macmillan, our representative, our judges, our pronouncer, Demar, who made us proud with his rendition, right? We also want to thank the students who were brave enough to participate this afternoon, not forgetting the teachers who helped them and the parents, of course, who did their part, okay? Also the media, thank you. And last but not least, the Dominica Association of Teachers for putting this spelling bee together. Again, we want to say thank you to all.
Experience the spelling bee competition organized by the Dominica Association of Teachers in collaboration
with Macmillan Education Caribbean. That's Macmillan Education Caribbean in partnership as well with Chase Bookstore Limited. On behalf of my chief technician, Yipman Bruno, ensuring that we got you the best quality possible both on radio and the social media. I am Steve Vidal, reminding you to join us tomorrow morning from 9 o'clock right here at the PSU building for the second part of the competition, but with the primary school students in mind. Good afternoon, enjoy the rest of your day and have a good lunch.